how do we move on after pandemic?
We faced so difficult times lately, and it's time to move on, don't you think? Social distancing has become the theme of the last months. We all were faced with a pandemic, and as part of, you can say, staying healthy, staying safe, we got introduced to social distancing, which is one of the things that is the least natural for us human beings.
In this video, we would like to think together with you, how do we move after a pandemic? How do we do that movement from times when we are so much dealing with social distancing, not allowing ourselves to connect to other people, to what we used to have before, just meeting people, enjoying the contact, enjoying physical touch, enjoying a hug, enjoying even sometimes just moving with somebody in the street and arguing with them because why did you do what you did now? All of those things that are natural. They're not only were natural, they are truly natural for us human beings. How are we coming back to this? How do we move on after these pandemic times?
So it is a basic need for us to stay in contact, and I think all of us know the effects that it has while we were withdrawing our senses and are not in touch with the different people in this kind of natural way of behavior. I think for people, they faced so many emotional ups and downs that are a result of social distancing and being least in connection, like depression or anxiety and being lonely are just a few of the very clear effects that actually not to be in touch is not something that we are born to do, you can say. And we needed to train ourselves to keep safe in that manner. If it is normally easy or your wish to meet your friends and hug and cuddle, and maybe not hug and cuddle, but even shake the hands, then just remember how much of an effort we needed to do to learn this kind of keeping the distance, of not immediately being there, of having masks on. We not only needed to understand, to apply with all of the rules, we really became an embodied social distancing person. Like if before we would sit like this, now like it's clear, actually I would need to move out of the screen to have the 1.5 meter between us. And this is kind of an experience that my body collected over and over again, and it started to be manifested in me. So if now we can actually, yes, move on, don't be surprised that you are out and about and there is not suddenly the button that will make the switch and you are coming that close, but that actually there are actions needed in order for you to claim back your senses, to get in contact again.
So we can say, we said, how do we move on after a pandemic? Of course, there are many different impacts of the pandemic, financial, in our business, in our experience. We wanted to focus on the impact of social distance. Within the Pantarei, we are dealing with people with contact, with touch. We want people to connect to who they are, to their resources. And one of the things that we observe over and over again with our students, with clients that comes to us, is how much those concepts of social distance, something so unnatural, isn't it? How that stays within us. It's kind of our body remembers this command. We should be afraid of other people. Other people suddenly becomes not safe for us. And we're not talking about dangerous people, we are talking about our fellow friends, our people around us. And this is needed to be changed. We need to do an act or many acts to change that idea that we need to be socially distanced from other people. How do we do that?
One act is starting by acknowledging, is starting to notice what we have just said, that yes, we are all withdrawn in ourselves and we actually need to collect different experiences again that are positive, that will give us a sensation of safety when we are together, when we are in public, when we have the chance to connect again. So one of the steps that need to happen is for you actually to reclaim your wish to be in connection and to collect your experiences. That when you are out and you sit in a coffee place, you are taking a breath and not only thinking, I'm safe, I can enjoy the people around me, but really leaning back and having consciously your body, your senses, in your experience, a notification, I'm safe, it's okay, and maybe even beyond that, I can enjoy that again, consciously, as an act of doing it in the moment, one step of recommendation.
Clara said one step, I think she said 5 steps. But 5? Something like that. But
for me,
let me say again a few things that I heard. One, I think we all just need to acknowledge this is something we did. It was not only something that people told us, we did it. We kept distance. We started to think that way. When we saw, I remember one of the days that I saw a child falling in the street and I started to run toward him, and then suddenly I caught myself thinking, should I? If this is what the mother wanted me to do. And we have, I'm sure each of us have so many ideas. So one, let's just acknowledge we did that. We withdrew and we need to reclaim back the connection. This was one step, you said?
Okay.
Second step is, let's have the intention, the real intention that we would like to connect back. It's something that we start to think about. We would like to connect back to friends, to family, to people that we don't know. We would like to get back to a social event and just meet people and just enjoy and not be afraid that somebody were breathing toward my direction. So we are saying, one, let's agree to realize the impact. Second, let's have the intention to reclaim back this connection.
Third, you need to give your body the experience that it is okay. It's not only the knowledge, it's truly kind of reclaiming that in your physical experience it is okay and safe. Normally it helps to breathe, to relax, to actually maybe feel and yes, again, be in contact with another person and noticing in the experience that it is safe.
We notice with our clients, we notice with our students that when we have those first hands-on training and we let people really feel their own body, there is kind of a breeze of relief. Of course, with it also comes, sadness and heart pains and the loneliness and a lot of other feelings that everyone dealt with or are still dealing with in these times. But it all comes in the experience of I can connect back to my own body, and while doing that, I can connect back also to other people.
So you have the 1, 2, 3 steps of acknowledging, of having an intention, yes, to connect back, of creating experiences for you that are positive, that can be done in different ways that are fitting for you, to claim back your senses. Because having yourself back in your experience while you are out in connection will give you a sense for yourself, for where you are. It will give you a connection to your surrounding. It can guide you then in so many levels. And actually, it might be that the pandemic will allow you to even sense and be more in the world than before if you start to do these conscious actions and steps.
We are here to remind all of us that we want to move forward. We want to have that in our history, to gain everything that we can from that time. Hopefully it will soon be in our past, and move forward into even better, more sincere, more honest connection with people.
So thank you very much for listening to us. It's a topic that thrives so much at our heart, to be connected and to be in touch. Let's reclaim our sense of connection, of being there together as human beings.
Thank you.
Thank you.